Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're going to be playing some more 3.0 Xbow Cycle live on ladder. I'm currently at 7,100 trophies, ranked 970 in the world, so just barely top 1,000. Going to be pushing up, hopefully to about top 500 or so. In my last ladder video I did use Queenbow with Rocket, but 3.0 just hold a special place in my heart, so even though I think it is worse than Queenbow, I'm going to be using it in today's video. Alright, and we finally found a match after quite a long time of waiting, so might have to cut that waiting time out or something, but found it against a Japanese player. He does have Xbow in his banner slot, so could be a possible Xbow mirror match, we'll see, as he does go for a log. I'm going to cycle my skeletons and then Ice Spirit. Don't want to go archers just as yet. He does go for a knight in the back, so I guess I'm just going to match it with a knight of my own, and it could actually be Xbow, because you don't actually see knight very often these days anymore, but I'm going to wait a bit more before playing my own Xbow or being too aggressive or anything. We do actually see Ice Wizard as well, so definitely looking like Icebow in that case. He did have a log as well, so it's not going to be Splash Yard, and I think I might knight, or Xbow rather, in the right, because he did just commit a tornado on the left, and Rocket does get forced out, so that's okay. We didn't get any damage, unfortunately, but I think we should still be okay. I'm going to try and outcycle his Rocket now, because it is single elixir. This is a trick that I like to use against Icebow a lot, especially in single, because they do have a slower cycle than us. So if you can take advantage of that, it is going to be pretty good. He actually just used his Rocket, I think, so he should be 3 cards away after that log. So I'm actually just going to knight an Xbow at the bridge. This is really aggressive, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. And he does unfortunately misplace his knight, which is really bad for him, because the Xbow is going to get targeted first, and I can actually just pretty much commit a lot to this push. Going to skeletons for the Tesla as well. Ice Spirit on the side as well, and looks like he might go for an Ice Wizard because he is not playing anything. There it is. Going to log it back instantly. And that should be a small Xbow connection. He's back to log now, I think, so he's going to have to log, but okay, just lets it go, so that's going to be really good. We get about 900 damage, and I'm actually going to Xbow at 6, because he has to rocket this. He doesn't exactly have a great cycle, and it's just going to be another few hundred damage, and wow, looks like he actually gives up. I'm not sure if that was a misclick or if he just decided to give up, but I guess that's just going to be game, because he's just going to let it go. So again, like I said, single elixir is very important against Icebow, especially if you catch them in a cycle where they use their rocket and you can easily outcycle them. My opponent is laughing a lot, so it looks like he's kind of upset about what happened here, but yeah, single elixir just very important, so always make sure to go in super aggressively. If they go like Knight or Valk in the back especially, then it's usually a pretty good opportunity. Valk is even easier to kind of punish with 3.0 because it adds even more of an elixir cost to their deck, where it's 4 elixir instead of 3 with the Knight, so definitely against any Icebow variant, but especially with Valk, try and make the most out of single elixir and outcycle their Rocket. You can sometimes win, and I just got a very nice win against a pretty good player, I think, based on his banners. Let me check. Yeah, with Icebow there, so pretty interesting, very quick match, but yeah, he is a very good player, as you can see, so really happy I was able to win that one for the first game of the video. Alright guys, found another match against Realize13. I think that's a square root at the start of his name, but I'm not sure why. Just gonna give him the good luck and cycle a log first play, and okay, wow, very unfortunate. He does go for a barrel at the same exact time, so that is the one time where cycling a log first play isn't ideal if they are playing Logbait, and it can be risky, so definitely make sure to exercise caution, I guess, when cycling log. So I don't usually do it, but it is kind of rare that I get punished like that. Just kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. And he does have Dark Goblin and Mighty Miner, so it looks like it is going to be the Mighty Miner fast cycle Logbait deck, which should be a very hard matchup actually, which kind of sucks. I'm just going to go for a Tesla. I don't think I want a Knight because he's probably just going to pop the ability and then force even more elixir out. I think a Tesla in the middle is just pretty safe overall, honestly, so just decided to go for that. I'm going to go for a low Knight. This way the Dark Goblin should walk across the bridge and be able to get targeted by my tower. I'm going to go for an Xbow now because I do still have a healthy Knight, at least partially healthy, and he goes for a low cannon for some reason, so he might be trying to defend this without a rocket. If he does, I think that would be a big mistake. Yeah, definitely going to log this Dark Goblin. Actually, pretty bad log. Going to Farble the Mighty Miner too, just because I think he's going to be kind of low in elixir, and I do want to force even more out. Going to go for skeletons for the Mighty Miner, archers for the barrel. Ice Spirit came down a bit late, unfortunately, but we do still get a small connection there, so I guess the log on the Dark Goblin was kind of a mistake because Xbow was already targeting it, but I didn't expect him to just allow that to happen. But we are still up about 1,000 HP to start out. So I think this is going to be a pretty hard matchup, all things considered. But the fact that he has Dark Goblin instead of Princess should make it a bit easier, because you don't have to worry about any Princess at the bridge nonsense. Gonna go for an Xbow at the bridge right now, just force out a rocket. Wow, for some reason he goes for a barrel at the same time. I'm gonna go for a knight, because yeah, I don't think he's gonna go with a rocket. I don't even think he can afford it at this point. And now we just hit double elixir, so gonna go for a fireball, might hit a cannon or something. And looks like we actually did. I don't even know if we hit the Mighty Mine or not. I think we did, but Xbow got kind of destroyed in that situation. But we still got a pretty nice connection, and we are still up 1,000 damage, so I guess it's pretty good. And my opponent just seems to not want to rocket all of my Xbows. I'm not sure why, but maybe he doesn't have rocket, or maybe he just wants to defend without it. I'm not really sure. He did outcycle my log there, unfortunately, though, so going to have to fireball on defense. There are other ways to defend against the barrel without logs, so you don't always have to worry about that. And okay, looks like he does have the rocket. Yeah, that was kind of a test, because there was a Tesla on the board, so he kind of had to rocket that if he wanted to defend it, and he does have the rocket, so looks like I don't know why he didn't go for it the first few times, but I guess it's whatever. Just gonna log this barrel and then go with another Xbow right away with the knight. Just keep the pressure up. I think we also outcycled the rocket. Okay, not anymore because he went skeletons, but still. And I don't really want to fireball cycle just as yet, because I have a damage lead. Normally I would fireball cycle in this kind of matchup, but just because I already have a pretty nice lead, I don't really need to play super aggressively. I can kind of take it at my own pace. But yeah, gonna go for an Xbow here. I do have a Tesla and Archer supporting. Gonna go skeletons as well, just in case he tries to keep on defending it without a rocket. Looks like he does go for the rocket, but we are still up a lot of damage. And I mean, with the log nerf, it does kind of help this situation, because them log cycling doesn't do as much anymore. I'm just gonna log this off, and yeah, starting my fireball cycle now, because he just went for a rocket on my Xbow. He can't exactly punish me, and I'm trying to bait him out into maybe rocket cycling my tower. That way I'll be able to just go for an Xbow really easily. I'm gonna just fireball this barrel and then log on offense, and I do actually get even more chip damage with the log, so I think my opponent is gonna have to start rocketing my tower if he wants to catch up in damage. Looks like he's just constantly going for barrels, which I am pretty comfortable to defend even without the log, and I'm just constantly logging on offense, which isn't ideal, but it's actually not even that bad, considering I'm still defending the barrels just fine. And he does pop the Mighty Miner ability for some reason, so the Xbow is going to have free reign right now. He's not back to another Mighty Miner. And I'm just going to log this. Cannon actually targets the Archer, which is huge, because I get another small connection, and I think the game is pretty much over at this point. I don't think my opponent can cycle like 4 rockets on my tower in 30 seconds, while also defending an Xbow. I'm actually going to cycle back to a log just to keep the pressure up, even though I know I'm using my main barrel counter. Again, there are many ways to defend the barrel. You saw many times in this match I went for Archers plus Ice Spirit, and it worked out really well. So yeah, just going to keep the pressure up because he just cycled a rocket on my tower. Don't want to let him just keep doing that, and so I'm just forcing Elixir out at this point. And then if he does want to rocket again, it won't even do anything because I'm still up way more than a rocket's worth. So that's going to be a good game. Very nice win there against Logbait. I think my opponent played it kind of weird. He didn't really rocket many of my Xbows and allowed me to get many small connections. So it was definitely a bit of a strange playstyle, but I will take it because I feel like that's a pretty hard matchup nonetheless. But yeah, that's going to be another nice win. Going to put me at 7,166 trophies, rank 690 in the world. So now we have broken into the top 700. Alright guys, and we found the next match against Love Bleach. I'm going to give him the good luck and see what he's going to be running. Just going to play pretty safe to start out as always. Fire Spirit, not a super good sign, honestly, because it could be that same Logbait Mighty Miner deck. Could also be like Hoggy Q. Okay, E-Spirit and Pump. Okay, this is actually going to be a very interesting match. It's going to be against PumpBow, I think, because I don't think any other deck runs multiple spirits and Elixir Collector, so it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. I think this deck has Archer Queen and Mini P.E.K.K.A, and actually quite a few people in my comments have asked me to play PumpBow sometimes, so interesting matchup for sure. I'm gonna go for an Xbow with this Archer because I do have the Archer surviving, and Queen gets forced up. We do get a small connection there, which is very nice. We also force out the Queen ability, which is really good because it means I won't have to commit anything for this Queen on defense. Just very easy Ice Spirit counter there. Looks like my opponent did outcycle me pretty easily with the pump, but I can just cycle back to my Fireball and Fireball it off. So I am unfortunately getting a -1 trade every single time against those pumps, which is not something I like to see. I think that's honestly still pretty unfair in terms of the pump, but I've seen mixed opinions about it, whether pump's still broken or not, because Earthquake's the only spell that gets a positive trade against it, or even neutral trade, I'm not sure, but I know every other spell is a negative trade, so yeah, but goes for a defensive Xbow. I was going to go in, but obviously there's no point now, because it would just kind of destroy it, so I guess I'll just cycle back to a Fireball. This is kind of awkward because I don't have a great play. I don't really want to Knight because then he could Queen at the bridge. I won't have a good response. And also, it'll still not deal with the Xbow. So I think I had to Fireball it, but it does, again, leave me in an awkward spot because now I don't have anything for the pump. But the key in this matchup is going to be defensive Xbows. I'm actually going to let that Far Spirit connect because my left side tower is perfectly untouched, so I can afford to take a bit of damage there. And yeah, just going to Ice Spirit at the bridge. He's back to another pump, which I'll Fireball off this time. Left side pump is going to be running rampant and giving him a lot of elixir, but my defensive Xbow is also pretty healthy, and he's just logging it away, which means no log damage on my tower, so I'll take it. He's back to yet another pump, and he is outcycling me pretty well, I have to say, but I am just constantly going to go for defensive Xbows at this point. There's no real need to go in right now, especially when I'm down so much elixir, and he doesn't have a big spell in this deck if you guys didn't realize, so actually defensive Xbows constantly is going to be a very nice game plan, and pretty much the only recourse you have against them constantly stacking pumps. Going to go in now, because I do have a somewhat healthy Xbow, not really actually, but yeah, it does predict my skeletons with the E-Spirit, but it's going to go Archers and Knight to block first, and if he pops Queen ability, this will be another connection, but otherwise the Queen should basically be dead, so yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. I mean, he does still have the ability, so I will be forced to log it off, but still fine. Defensive Xbow, looks like I was constantly, or rather perfectly on time with that Xbow. Gonna go Skeletons last second to keep my Knight healthy, just a small little micro play there. And yeah, it looks like I was right with that Xbow play, because I had a feeling, you know, I was down quite a lot. I didn't really feel comfortable, so I wanted to go in. Or rather, wanted to prevent him from going in. But now I'm going to go in myself because I have, again, a slightly healthy Xbow. And looks like he's just going to give up, so that's going to be a good game. Pretty nice win against PumpBow there. I haven't played this matchup very much because I think it's a pretty niche deck at this point. Not many players play it. I think the most popular Xbow deck is the Queenbow Rocket one. I haven't actually seen this in quite a long time, but I guess I'm happy I still have the game plan down. Just defensive Xbow a lot, they can't really do much about it. And yeah, that's going to put me one trophy off 7,200 trophies, and I think getting pretty close to top 500, so I'll probably go for one more win. Alright, and we found our final match, hopefully, against POW Junior 11. Gonna give him the good luck and see what he's gonna be running. Fire Spirit comes down, so again, could be Logbait, could be Hog Earthquake. Just name a few, and unfortunately it looks like it is going to be Hog. So I don't know for sure, but usually Fire Spirit with Hog means it is going to be the Earthquake version with Archer Queen and Giant Skeleton, which is a very hard matchup for our deck, so it is going to be pretty tough. But okay, never mind EWiz. I'm pretty surprised I haven't seen that in a Hog deck in, I don't think, a very long time. So just going to go Archer same lane, just kind of scout him out and see if he has a spell or of some sort to deal with it, and he has Bandit as well, so I actually don't know what this deck is going to be anymore. I mean, based on like this off-meta, yeah, I had a feeling it might be like Mega Knight or something, but MK in the back, just going to go for an Xbow, and he gives the WoW. I don't know why. He's surprised because he probably knew I had Xbow based on the cards I played, and okay, E-Barbs come down. This is going to be a pretty tough defense, but going to set up with a high Tesla, or a low Tesla rather in the middle, Skeletons as well to distract, Ice Spirit to keep the Tesla alive from the Mega Knight, and then Knight to make sure the Mega Knight doesn't jump onto the Tesla. And just like that, we get a pretty nice defense. Going to log this Hog off, and we do get another Tesla hit as well as 2 Knight hits for a perfect defense and really nice Xbow connection as well, putting me in the lead by about 1,700 HP. So that's going to be a perfect start to this game. I think my opponent kind of messed up with that Mega Knight. I mean, I know his idea was kind of just sack and attack, you know, ignore the Xbow and go all in, but I was able to defend pretty well, I would say, considering I didn't take any damage at all. So yeah, definitely going to take that. And I think he's back to Mega Knight now at this point. Goes for Mega Knight in the back. Gonna go for an Xbow, just, you know, force. Probably an EWiz out in front. Okay, Bandit instead. Okay, that's my bad. I couldn't have really predicted that. I thought he might go for like something lower, so I wasn't really prepared to predict the Bandit right at the bridge. So I guess pretty good play by my opponent there. But still, Tesla will take care of the Hog. Knight will take care of the Mega Knight. And we are still looking very well in this final game. I think we should be able to win. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of his cards, like if he has a big spell of some sort, but with this early lead, I think we should be totally fine, so we'll see. I'm going to keep testing the waters, though, go for another set of archers in the same lane, just to make sure that he doesn't have like arrows or anything, because I don't know what his spell is. He hasn't revealed it yet. I guess I'll just set up with a center Tesla, and he's just going for constant split lane pressure, I guess, which is fine by me. Knight will deal with the Mega Knight, archers as well, just to make sure it gets taken out. And okay, he does have a Fireball, so he is going to be back to his hog. Okay, Fireball and Zap are his spells. Makes sense. This is actually kind of dicey. You're going to have to go for a log, and kind of messed up my log timing. If I went for a log a bit sooner, I think it could have prevented those hog hits, so kind of unfortunate, but still, kind of defensive Xbow, anti-fireball placement to my right side tower so that he can't hit it with a fireball, and he gives the pig yawn. I mean, I'm not sure what else he wants me to do. I can't exactly just go in when he goes Mega Knight, same lane, so I don't know if there's a better play than defensive Xbow. And I'm actually going to go in right here because I do have a Knight supporting and also a defensive Xbow alive. Okay, never mind about the defensive Xbow. Apparently, eBarb just completely destroyed it. I'm going to go for a Knight, though. Does take care of the Bandit as well as the Mega Knight. And I'm going to get archers down as well. I think he has to fireball this. Does go for Zap instead, so just going to log the Mega Knight back. And that's going to be another Xbow connection. I'm going to predict the EWiz. Okay, he does go for a fireball, so I guess fair enough. I thought he would EWiz to reset, which is why I went for the cycle cards at the bridge, but goes for Bandit instead at the bridge now. I guess he was predicting my Xbow, but yeah, Xbow's going to be on tower now. He's going to be forced to EWiz this time because he just went for a Zap, and he is just going to let it go this time. So that's going to be game. Very nice win against pretty interesting off-meta Mega Knight Hog deck. I mean, usually if a Hog deck is off-meta, it is going to be like Hog Freeze or Mega Knight Hog, I guess, so it makes sense. But still, very nice win there. Very nice single elixir conversion. That's going to put me at 7,230 trophies, pretty much top 500. I mean, rank 508 is essentially top 500 in the world, so pretty happy with that. Nice little push, and yeah, only a couple weeks left in the season, so doing pretty well so far. And pretty nice undefeated video. Had 4 very nice wins. Pretty nice first game against Icebow, and then the other games were just pretty clean overall. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.